So we think it's over, as you can see, or at least I do. Elliot agrees with me that it's over. And I think Bitcoin has actually entered a realm not unlike that of NFTs. We call NFTs a bull market in nothing. I mean, literally zeros and ones that anybody could take a snapshot of and have it on their wall if they wanted, but you were paying up for it.
Of course, not good news for Bitcoin and crypto enthusiasts unless some miracle occurs. We shall see. I guess 2024 will be could potentially be a devastating year for Bitcoin.
Lep pozdrav in dobrodošli na kanalu Explicit. To je kanal, kjer jemljemo kripto brez kakršnih koli olepšav. In novo leto je tu, upam, da ste ga preživeli fantastično in da se vam bodo uresničile vse skrite želje v novem letu 2024. Po mojem, da skoraj da vsi, ki spremljate moj kanal, poznate tudi Alessija Rastanja. Sem ga tudi sam gostil na tem kanalu. Povezava do videa bi se morala prikazati nekje tukaj od zgoraj, če vas morda zanima kaj več, o čem sva govorila. No in pred kratkim je on imel enega izredno zanimivega gosta, samega Roberta Prechterja. In če se morda spomnite, sem jaz nedolgo tega nazaj imel tudi sam eno analizo gibanja cene Bitcoina skozi ves čas. In tam smo analizirali Elliotove valove. No in v tem videu, ki ga je imel Alessio z Robertom, sem opazil, da ima Robert podobno, če ne celo enako analizo, kot sem jo imel jaz v svojem videu. Zdaj vem, kaj si boste mislili. Marsikdo bo rekel, itak Robert je konstantni medved. Ampak ni, ste vedeli, da je bil on v Bitcoinu že zelo, zelo zgodaj?
Now I have to say, we had no clue where this thing was eventually going to go.
Yeah.
But we did like it early. And of course it went to 60 cents, and it went to $6, and it went to $60. And then $600 and $6,000 eventually topped out at $70,000. Bitcoin started at a penny. So 1 penny to 70,000 is a 7 million times multiple. People used to talk about anyway, the tulip mania in Holland in the 1600s as something amazing. And I think that achieved about a 60 times multiple. No, this broke every imaginable record.
In potem je povedal še nekaj zelo zanimivega, kar bi moral vsak slišati, ki je kakorkoli vpleten na kriptotrg. Kaj se je dejansko zgodilo z Bitcoinom skozi ves ta čas?
What happened was Bitcoin started as something very practical and ended up becoming the focus of investing and speculation. And when that happens, all economic causes are out the window. You get into socioeconomic causality, where people are trading because they're in a herd and they're feeding off of each other and they're reinforcing each other's psychology. Mm-hmm. So, it went up and up and up.
No pa si poglejmo zdaj še njegovo analizo Elliotovih valov na Bitcoinu.
Recently, in the September issue, I wanted people to understand how powerful waves of social mood are in creating things like manias. If you look at this chart, you'll see the Dow Jones Industrial Average on the top. And of course, we had that bear market period from 2000 to 2009. There was an ABC expanded flat in the Dow. And that is the bottom when Bitcoin came out at a penny.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was Bitcoin? Bitcoin was a phenomenon of speculation that tracked primary wave 5, the circle, wave from circle 4 to circle 5 top, perfectly throughout the period. This was a time when we had fifth wave social optimism. It created a lot of trends, but most importantly, trends in speculation. And of course, people bought stocks because that's what they always do. They bid up stocks. But at the same time, they began to discover this obscure thing called a Bitcoin. And then they got the bit in their mouths and started running with it. And we had herding going on.
Yeah.
And they ran Bitcoin up constantly, even when we thought it was priced at a crazy amount of money. And don't forget, part of the way up, after maybe 2/3 of the way up in this bull market, people began to realize that the blockchain that Bitcoin relied upon could not handle transactions worldwide. It was too slow. And when we heard that, we reverted to our primitive brains and said, well, how could a bull market continue when everybody's just proven that Bitcoin can't do what it was designed to do? But of course, that was incorrect.
Yes.
Outside causes mean absolutely nothing. So the bull market continued on. And guess when the bull market ended? January 2022, the exact month when the Dow Jones and S&P and New York Composite topped out.
Tukaj je še Alessio predstavil svojo verzijo analize in Robert je podal zelo zanimiv odgovor na to.
What is wrong with this particular wave count? Because this is an alternative potential scenario possible, but I want to know whether you think it's likely or how likely is it? This would be that in the blue count, that wave 5 is not done yet, that the drop we had since 2021, 2022 was an ABC wave 4 correction, and that we're due for one wave 5 up for all-time highs before we see a collapse. Well, I guess the difference between this one and the other one would be that the wave 5 would just take a bit more time to complete before we see the major bear market. But how likely do you? Yeah, sir, go ahead.
Under the rules of the wave principle, I think it fits. It's okay. You can label it that way if you want, but I think there are reasons not to do that.
Right.
For example, wave C is very long and slow within wave 4. Okay, wave C of 4 we're talking about.
Yes, that's right. Correct. Yeah, correct.
And if you'll notice, B went to a new high. So that means we're talking about an expanded flat. Well, flats, the C wave is the wave that's usually very sharp and quick and dramatic.
Right. Exactly.
Zigzags, it's usually the A wave that's sharp and dramatic. So why are we having this lazy fourth wave, that the C wave within 4 that takes forever? I don't like that. And also, I don't like the fact that look how close that wave 4 low came to overlapping wave 1.
Yes.
It's probably just missed by a hair, but that's one deep 4.
Yeah.
And so there are 2 reasons why that's not my count.
That's really interesting. Thank you so much for that, Bob, because I hadn't thought of that. But so in other words, you're saying that if the B wave was a bull trap like in this chart, if that was the case, you would have expected the C wave to be much more sharper, big drop, like a very sharp big drop, not like this slow, gradual C wave like in this chart.
Tukaj je zdaj še povzetek moje analize in kako sem prišel do teh zaključkov. Torej, jaz se vedno ponavadi poskušam tako znajti, da iščem določene specifike. In tukaj je zagotovo specifika v tej teoriji tretji val. Zakaj? Ta od vseh valov najbolj izstopa. No in če si pogledamo to Elliotovo strukturo, ki sem jo izrisal v takratnem videu. Običajno je najdaljši in najmočnejši. Cene hitro rastejo in popravki so zelo šibki. No in če si pogledamo to Elliotovo strukturo, ki sem jo izrisal v takratnem videu, vidimo, prvi val je trajal 952 dni in popravki so kar izraziti. Tretji val tukaj je trajal 1071 dni in vidimo, kako je močan in sunkovit in popravki so komajda vidni. Tukaj imamo na to peti val, ki je trajal 1050 dni. In tukaj spet vidimo, popravki so kar lepo izraziti. Zdaj te Elliotove valove lahko porazdelimo tudi v podvalove. To se lahko v bistvu deli v nedogled. In to bomo tudi zdaj naredili pri prvem valu, ko imamo tako izrazito vse lepo narejeno. Vidimo, tukaj imamo prvi, drugi, tretji, ki je spet najmočnejši in najdaljši. Na to četrti in peti. Zdaj jaz vsekakor nisem mojster v tem, vem, da je to čisto neka svoja znanost in vem, da je dosti mojstrov, ki obvladate to, tako da, če se pri čemarkoli zmotim, me prosim kar popravite spodaj pod komentarji. Ok, pojdimo naprej na popravek, A, B, C, korekcija. Imamo tukaj A, B, C. In potem imamo naprej novi cikl, drugi cikl. To je naš tretji val in tukaj so popravki komajda vidni. Po mojem bi se dosti boljše videlo na dnevnem grafu, ampak bom vseeno tole označil na tedenskem. Torej, ponovno porazdelimo na 5 valov. Tukaj imamo začetek, prvi val, njegov popravek, torej drugi val, tretji val, popravek in peti val. In potem imamo ponovno korekcijo, ki jo lahko razdelimo na A, B in C. In potem spet ta zadnji peti val, začnemo tukaj, imamo prvi val, njegova korekcija, drugi val, tretji val, ki je spet najdaljši, najmočnejši, četrti val in nato peti val. Tako da, če se orientiram glede na to specifiko tretjega vala, bi ta teorija potem morala držati. In kar ta teorija zdaj predlaga je, da smo zdaj tukaj v A, B, C korekciji. In glede na to teorijo, ja, lahko dosežemo tudi tarče pod 10.000. Bomo videli zdaj, kako se bo to obneslo. Halving bo zelo kmalu, tukaj imamo označeno, kdaj bo. ETF naj bi bil tudi kmalu potrjen, jaz sicer sem kar medvedji, kar se tiče tega, mi ni všeč, tako da bomo videli. Jaz sem še vedno mnenja, da zna ta halving, ki prihaja, marsikoga kar konkretno razočarati. Jaz upam, da ta graf ni preveč messy, oziroma nametan, ampak po mojem ste dobili idejo, na katero specifiko v tej teoriji se nanašam. In kako sem se tudi orientiral pri postavitvi te teorije. In kaj zdaj? Dokot lahko pridemo? Dokot lahko pademo? Do kakšnih zaključkov je prišel Robert?
Do you think that would be taking us below, well, obviously below the lows of last year, so below 15K, but is the wave 3 of the downtrend likely to take us below, let's say, 6,000 or 10,000? I'm assuming the answer is yes, but...
Yeah, I think the answer is yes. And when you plot bear markets, I mean, bull markets you should plot on log scale as you have here, but bear markets are best reviewed in arithmetic scale.
Okay.
So once you start the bear market, the waves tend to be much clearer in arithmetic scale. And you can see here, if you try to trace out, 1, 2, 3 or ABC on a semi-log scale, you're gonna see expect ridiculously low prices. I think they're possible just because of what we said before. Again, if somebody invents a better coin, then this thing just doesn't have a future. Right. But anyway, we're just following the waves as they unfold.
I agree,
we're not trying to make any, dramatic predictions.
Dobil sem tudi izredno zanimive komentarje pod svojim videom takrat, ki jih pa žal ne morem prikazati, ker YouTube ne podpira slik v svojih komentarjih. Tako da v bistvu nekdo lahko opiše svoje stanje na grafu, jaz to lahko nekako prenesem na graf, ampak ne morem garantirati, da bo isto točno, kot si je nekdo mislil. Tako da YouTube, hej, super bi bila podpora za slike v komentarjih, no na tem mestu se bom jaz zahvalil še vsem patronom, ki svojimi prispevki pomagajo pri vzdrževanju tega kanala. Če bi morda želeli postati eden izmed njih, so povezave spodaj v opisu in pripetem komentarju. In v zameno seveda dobite dostop do dodatnih vsebin. S prvim paketom do dnevnika tehničnih analiz, kjer obravnavamo tudi ostale trge. Z drugim paketom pa dobite dostop do predogleda posebnih videov, videotehničnih analiz in tam je tudi najbolj zdaj zaživel Discord. Najprej sem ga postavil samo testno, ampak sem poslušal vaše želje in zdaj je to kar lepo zaživelo. Poleg tega pa lahko patroni tudi ceneje nakupujejo na moji spletni trgovini. Sprogramiral sem kar nekaj svojih indikatorjev in če ste patron, jih lahko kupite ceneje. In to tako, da koristite ves vložek, ki ste ga do sedaj vložili preko Patreona, kot dobro imetje. In tako v bistvu lahko tudi nekateri patroni celo nakupujejo zastonj. In ko smo že pri spletni trgovini, ne je pozabiti obiskati. Indikator ARI je spet znižan za 40%, to je indikator, ki vam kaže, kam na kriptotrgu se preliva denar. Ali se preliva v Bitcoin, ali v stablecoine, ali v altcoine. Vse to in še več vam razkriva ta indikator. Hvala vam tudi, da ste si video ogledali do konca, dajte mu všeček, če vam je bil všeč, ali pa ne všeček, če vam ni bil. Vesel bom tudi, če delite ta video prijateljem, za katere mislite, da jim bo ta vsebina prišla prav. Zdaj pa mene zanima, kaj si vi mislite o tej analizi? Kaj si mislite o Robertovi analizi? Ali mislite, da bo Bitcoin v novem letu 2024 doživel nove višine? Ali bomo padli? In če, dokot? Kar napišite mi spodaj pod komentarje in z veseljem bom podebatiral z vami. No in kar sledi zdaj je, da naredim video o Bitcoinu v letu 2024. To je nekako postala novoletna tradicija, kjer si ogledamo staro leto, staro napoved, kako se je ta stara napoved obnesla, in potem naredimo novo napoved za novo leto. Vsekakor bo zabavno in ne bo se splačalo zamuditi, zato je najbolje, da se naročite na kanal in nastavite obveščanje, da vas bo YouTube o novem videu takoj tudi obvestil. Seveda, to se obeta in še več drugih videov, tako da naročite se, ne bo vam žal. Tako pa smo prispeli do zaključka, jaz vas zdaj še lepo pozdravljam in imejte se fajn, vso srečo v novem letu 2024 in se vidimo v naslednjem videu.